Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, all well, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work of sharing truth. Got this article on the Sun. It says what? Happy days. China issues world first C-Maxine passport and plans to accept other countries' passes in boost for travel. So this is something, it's been developing for a minute still. And it's I think the spearhead of it has been what you call it, the state, the 48 state of Israel, and as well a few European countries. Well, Europe said they were gonna kind of like make a standardized version, but only a few countries are looking to implement it yet. And then China as well. Well, even I think in the UK, they said they're looking to it. It's not really been implemented, but China's implemented. So it says China has issued what's thought to be the world's first C-Maxine passport and a boost to international travel. Beijing also plans to accept other countries' Maxine health certificates being used by passengers. This is what China has rolled out the first one, and it says what they hope the Maxine certificates will boost international travel. So yeah, is that? Yeah, like it says negative. So that's the app there, and it's it's done through the app, done electronically, because all these things are gonna wrap up into that mark, innit? So it says the Chinese health certificates show a user's max status and recent C test results. They're being held as the world's first virus passport with similar schemes planned in Britain, the US, and the EU. Yeah, so the beast is that main focus of it, because that's where main things are gonna go down. The QR code based digital certificate will promote world economic recovery and facilitate cross border travel. So that travel is the main way it's going to be sold, because for Jake to jump on it as well is because they're going to be wanting to get around, go to places, and just in general, people are, especially because everyone's been locked down for the longest. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I need a holiday. People are going to jump on getting a max. And then just, be like, okay, we can go back to normal. Which is kind of what, the 48 state is signifying right now, where they've just pushed it the hardest, I think, among most countries, to where they're saying, well, they said like the, well, anyway, they're saying they've pushed it to an extent where they've started up concerts, travel, cruise liners, all that shit, and it's just being shown as an example to be like, yeah, to everyone else, like, look, this is what you can go back to. Just get the max. So said facilitate a cross-border travel. Foreign Ministry spokesman said today. Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said the pandemic is still with us, but the world economy needs to be restarted and people-to-people exchanges resumed with no more delays. China is also set to discuss mutually recognized systems for travelers, health codes with other countries, he said. The passports are available for Chinese citizens to download on social media platform WeChat, and that WeChat is that's kind of, they man have everything on that. I think they have like banking on their ID, phone contracts, all that shit is kind of linked. I know South Korea's got a similar system. China's got it. So for them, it's easier to implement. But then, yeah, it's it's gonna be a slightly harder sell in the West, but they're still pushing it. So travelers can use them to enter and leave the country. But so far, just 3.65% of China's population have been vaccinated. China hopes a passport, which also shows antibody test results, will be recognized by other countries and open up global travel. Yes, that's the same thing as what country was it? On I was in state of Israel as well. They said it was if you've recovered or if you've got the max, then it will say it will be the same. Essentially, you'll be able to do things. So basically, that testing as well. So it says, but it isn't clear yet which countries will accept the electronic health certificate codes. China's approved 17 maxes for clinical trials, with 7 now in phase 3 trials. It comes as an International Air Travel Association, which represents 290 airlines, are set to launch an app that allows immigration authorities to share travelers' max data. Singapore Airlines will test run the app on its Singapore to London flights from March 15th. So yeah, it's you got a few different ones, but they're all electronic, and it seems like you're just gonna have it standardized, and that's yeah, it seems similar to how they're gonna get that mark pushed out, man. Where they'll just have people kind of be like, hey, they'll jump on it and be like, okay, look, you want to go back to normal life? You take this, everyone will be able to verify it, and then it's easy. You go back to normal life, and that's because that's the pull, and that's kind of why you've had this extended kind of lockdown scenario, especially in Europe and like the UK, where it's like open for a little bit and then just play with the rules to kind of be like, okay, well, now it's like, okay, you can have it where it's just like you go back to normal. Just get this thing. So let me read this. Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Yeah, so what Esau's doing with all these systems and programs he's trying to put in, which all these things are basically laying the groundwork for that mark, that implantable RFID chip. These things are all there for what? For control. Because Esau wants, that total control. He wants the world under that total control. He wants everyone to basically have to bow down. He can have his rulership, his new world order system set up eternally. That's what he's trying to do. That's his end goal. So this is why all these things that you see occurring, it's that slow normalization of Esau making you surrender more and more, and getting people normalized to the just having those restrictions like it's normal. Because that's why even like in the States they said, okay, even if you got the max, you still can't. You can meet other people that got. Well, actually, I don't even know what it says. You can meet certain other people in certain circumstances, but you still got to wear a mask. Still got to do this. So it's still about the restrictions. But then what? It's still about the restrictions. Because it's not about people basically being able to just live life as it was before. It's about bringing in a new structure, a new system where you know the way Esau set these things up is going to become normal, and then further things, man, because that mark, the RFID, that's going to be implemented. You already see that's picking up steam as well from multiple angles, and all these systems, just like this Max passport, leaning into it. So we're in that time, man. We're in that time where things are popping off. Esau's showing his hand, because it's really that Esau's showing his hand. It's like people have been stuck indoors for the longest. They'll do anything to get out, and it's Jake doesn't seem to be on board, but like I did a video earlier, mentioned about it was just about racism in the UK, and then they just tied in, the C, this thing going round, and the Max, just as kind of putting in your mind, because why? It's Jake's the one being pressured towards that. So yeah, these, and Esau's and goal is, man, Revelation 13:16, get everyone chipped. But yeah, yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yabba Shem Yashab Shem Kakadash Bakta. Shalom.